What's happening, people? My name is Chris Smith and I am the owner of Dizzy Heights Development, and I've been working in learning and development for 27 years, both as an independent training consultant and also as a training manager, working with some of the biggest tech brands in the planet, developing thousands of retail sellers to develop their selling capabilities. In this episode of VIP Spotlight, I want to share with you my thoughts about the importance of creating engaging experiences in retail. So get comfortable, hold tight, and let's do this. So why is an engaging retail experience so important? Well, simply put, if you don't look after your customer, somebody else will. And with fewer customers choosing to visit bricks and mortar retail, you should see every customer as an absolute luxury, a VIP. And like all VIPs, they deserve special attention. And VIP treatment starts as soon as that customer enters the store. That first impression, it really does matter. Now, I'm a big believer in connection before content. And connection means taking time out to get to know your customer. Find out how their day is going before you move them into the content phase, which is navigating them through the sales journey. Now, treating your customers like VIPs is a bit like holding a house party where you invite your friends, your guests to your house. And you probably spend time before the party getting your house in order. You might tidy the furniture, you might hoover or mop the floor, you might even go all out and light a few scented candles. You want to present your house as best as it can be to your guests. And retail is the same. Your environment needs to be a place where your VIPs, your customers, want to spend time in. The environment, it needs to be clean, and you need to make sure that that visual merchandising is on point. Those hero SKUs are clear to see, positioned correctly, and free from clutter. Because after all, retail has always been about the detail. So let's start with why. Why do customers choose to come to a physical retail store? Is it convenience? No. Is it price? Unlikely. Is it because you are selling something that they can't get anywhere else? I doubt it. So what is it? Consumers come to the store because they want to receive an experience. They want to engage with a professional. They want to receive expert advice. But the greatest motivator for the customer for visiting retail stores is to get tactile and to receive a hands-on demo with the device or product that you are selling. To be a competent salesperson, in my opinion, you need 3 attributes, and those 3 attributes need to be working together in sync, and they are knowledge, skills, and attitude. So let's take a look at those. Knowledge, you need to know all of the product spec that you are talking about. You need to know the range and the specification, but knowledge will not delight the customer. The customer expects you to know what you're talking about. You are a retail professional. Skill. You need to have those skills to pay the bills. Being a salesperson is a profession and it requires many behaviors. You need the ability to connect with other people, establish rapport. You need the ability to communicate, to explore and listen and understand to the customer's needs. You need to know how to tell compelling stories, how to handle customer objections. But again, your customer expects you to have these skills. But let's talk about attitude. Attitude. Your attitude is the way you show up to every customer interaction. And your attitude, if on point, is your golden ticket to success. Now, you might have the knowledge and skills, but do you have the motivation to put them into play? When your knowledge, skills, and attitude are in sync, you have the power to deliver above and beyond those customer expectations. So let's explore what attitude means. Attitude means being present for every customer, placing them as your priority at that moment in time. Attitude means wanting to make an experience, want to make it enjoyable for the customer, playful and fun. Attitude means getting the customer hands-on with the device or the product. Don't just show them the device, let them touch it and guide them how to use the device. If you think about the sport of rally driving, there are two people in the car, the driver and the navigator. And as a salesperson, you should navigate the customer to use the device. This will give their customer greater confidence in that product. Attitude means telling stories. It's not just about reeling off a bunch of speeds and feeds and hoping that the customer really understands your amazing ability to talk tech. So talking of stories, let me share one with you. And this is a story about my son, Finn. So my son, Finn, is 18 now. And this story relates to a few years back when he was at school. Now, Finn had one task to do every Saturday morning before 12 o'clock in order to collect his pocket money. And that was to clean his bedroom. Now, my son, as a teenager, like many, he spends most of his time on his Xbox playing online with his friends. And this is how most Saturdays would go. I would be up in the morning at about 10 o'clock in the morning. I would knock on Finn's door and I'd say, "Yo, Finn, remember you've got to clean your room before 12 so you can get your pocket money." And I would hear Finn, under his duvet say, "Yeah, Dad, no worries, cool, I'm all over it." Awesome. 11 o'clock, still no sign of Finn. He hasn't been downstairs to collect the Hoover that he needs in order to tidy his room so he can get his pocket money. So at 11:30, I call up and I say, "Yo, Finn, you've got 30 minutes. Get your bedroom done." And he says, "Yes, Dad, I'm on it. I'll be down to get the Hoover shortly." It's now 11:45 and still no sign of Finn, but I can hear him. He's in his room and he's talking to people. And that means that he's online on his Xbox talking to his friends, which means his Xbox is the one thing that's stopping his motivation from cleaning his room. So, very simply, I turn off the Wi-Fi, and that very sharply motivates my son's action. He comes downstairs, he collects the Hoover, he goes upstairs, he cleans his room, he gets his pocket money. So if we think about knowledge, skills and attitude, does Finn have the knowledge? Absolutely. He knows he has to clean his room. Does he have the skill? Yes, he knows how to use the Hoover. He does it every weekend. So that leaves attitude. Does Finn want to clean his room? No. It's only when knowledge, skills and attitude work together that you will receive optimum performance. So let's think about attitude. And here's some tips for developing your attitude and making sure that your attitude is on point for every sales interaction that you have. Recall your motivations. Why do you work? Why do you do what you do? Is it simply to pay the rent? Well, that's important, that's motivating. Or maybe you're saving up for something like a family holiday. Another way of tricking the brain to be motivated is maybe listen to a favourite song before starting your shift. So if you think about a boxer, when boxers are making their way to the ring, they listen to a favourite piece of music, something upbeat that gets them into the zone. Whenever I'm delivering training, before I go on stage, I listen to the same song. It's called Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, and it really does fire me up. It gets me into a hype mode. Maybe you want to watch a favourite comedy clip, something that gets you into a playful and fun way of living. That way, you'll be able to share that playfulness with the customers that you are serving on that day. Remember, your customers are VIPs. Treat them that way. They expect your knowledge, they expect your skills, but if you bring your attitude, you can make the experience for them much more memorable and much more engaging. Okay, people, I hope you've enjoyed this episode looking at ways to create engaging retail experiences. Remember, the key to all of this is your customers are VIPs. Treat them that way. They expect your knowledge. They want your skills. But if you bring your attitude, you can make the experience so much better for them. Now, please check out some of the supporting content that I've shared. I provided a cool technique known as SWAN selling. SWAN is an acronym. It means sell what's available now. I've been Chris Smith. You guys have been just awesome. And I hope to see you again soon on a future episode of VIP Spotlight. Now, over to my friend Dale for another awesome tip.
Thanks for that, Chris. Like most of your customers, I spend most of my working day in Windows. Now, in order to find out what's new in each of the builds of Windows, here's my last tip. Okay, so really simple tip on how to find out what's new in the latest version of Windows 10. Simply go to your search bar, type tips. There's actually an app built into Windows that gets updated with every build. And you can see there's a ton of tips. There's over 20 of them here on Windows, on Office, on Teams. And as you go into each one, there's, in the case of this one, there's actually 12 tips. And you can just simply scroll through or click the link that's in there to get more information. Quick and easy, the Tips app built into Windows 10. I hope you found that tip useful, and check out the link on screen for even more tips. And remember, only genuine Windows provided as part of Windows as a service will get the latest feature and security updates. So always remind our customers to buy genuine. I've been Dale, and I hope to meet you again on another VIP Spotlight soon.